many of my colleagues, female colleagues who moved into the UK single, most of them are still single, even after 3 years here in the UK.
The mindset.
So I could remember vividly back then in school, one of our lecturers said that nurses are marketable. In your current role as a nurse in the UK, do you think nurses are marketable?
People still get married to nurses, but they are not really interested like you being a nurse, because there are a lot of jobs in the UK that pay well. That's more than the medical. I think the medical team, doctor, nurses are one of the least paid job in the UK.
When we were in school, we discovered that HOs, medical students comes to our hostel looking for ripe plantain. Recently we had a rumor, I won't say it's a news, that police said that Nigerian women are reporting their husband too much on trivial things that should be discussed.
Yeah.
What do you can female nurses position themselves for marriage in this environment? Because they have less suitors, and they have less people even proposing to them. I have seen people say that in a year nobody will come to tell you that.
It's not that they have less. People think the only bad behavior in marriage or relationship is infidelity, cheating, or something.
Hello, you're welcome again to my channel. If you are new to this channel, I am Isaiah Osatuyi. This is Eagle Nursing Hub, and this is the first episode in this series. So today I have a colleague here. He's a registered nurse. He's been practicing from Nigeria, and he works here in the UK. And his name is Timin. Timin, would you mind to introduce yourself to the audience?
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Timmy Oluyemi, and popularly known as Timmy Offering, or OTR, a professional colleague, as he said, and I am also a relationship therapist or a relationship coach, and also a clinical psychologist, as you can say. So you are welcome to this episode, and you are welcome to this channel. We hope you have a lovely and interesting time with us. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. For context purpose, if you don't know, myself and Timmy, we've been together since November. Is it October 2014?
Yeah.
When we joined the nursing profession, and we've had about 7 years clinical experience together. Yeah. So, Timmy, one of the reasons why we are having this discussion today is to talk about the issues of relationship, marriage among nurses, because I know that is your major. That's not my own major, but at least I'll be able to reiterate or relate with what you are going to say. So we know that in Nigeria, being a nurse is something that is marketable. And I could remember vividly back then in school, one of our lecturers said that nurses are marketable. In your current role as a nurse in the UK, do you think nurses are marketable? And if they are marketable, is it like that of Nigeria?
In my own perspective and opinion, I think nurses are not marketable, as so to say, because back home people say nurses are marketable, and I think why they say that is because in one way or the other, if you practice as a nurse or a professional, or you are in a medical profession, you have this. You have the enablement to have something doing. At least in one way or the other, you will have like a job. Regardless, it might just not be what you want, but in one way or the other, you will have a job doing as a registered nurse or a registered medical practitioner. But over time, because of quackery and everything ongoing in the profession, so it's sometimes it dents the image of the profession, and over time, it's the respect and honor that are supposed to be bestowed on the profession, they don't accord it to the profession. But in the UK, I think nurses are more respected and medical team are more respected in the UK than in Nigeria, because people value what you do. There's professionalism, there's skills and all of those things in situ, and over time, people are able to carry themselves the more because of more trainings, more professionalism, and all. And people give honor to them, unlike back home that even though you do a whole lot of things and people really pay little attention to what you do, but in here it is more appreciated. But so saying marketable, To me, in my own opinion, I don't think they are marketable.
So, okay, I think you talked about being professional
Yeah.
here in the UK gives them that accolade and they have more skills. What other skills or what other attribute do you think Nigerian nurses can possess back home that can give them that public attention?
I think it will start from changing the mindset of people. Like because everybody coming into the hospital back home has this mindset that nurses, medical people, they are rude, they are not respectable, and all. I think I could relate to it of a recent in which one of my friend had her mom being admitted in the hospital, and one of the nurses came into the room and checking the blood pressure, observation generally, and so this other lady too is a professional colleague, and she's a medical doctor, to be honest. And so she was trying as much as possible to ask the nurse, like, please, what's the observation like, so that I'll get. And the nurse totally ignored. And she was like, I'm actually asking you, this is the things I need to know. My mom is in a critical condition like this and that. But I think when she had to discuss that with me, I was like, if that person is really a professional nurse, then definitely we'll be willing to open up to you. And I was now of the opinion, like, maybe this person is a quack or something, which is more predominant in Nigeria.
Let's talk about quackery. I know that one of the little foxes that is eating up Nigerian nursing profession is quackery. We've both worked in Lagos. We know how it looks like. I've even worked in a place in Kwara State that
I think it's more popular. In Lagos, I will still give accolade to Lagos. Talking about
yes,
quackery.
I know, but we know that to some degrees.
In other parts of the country.
I know of an hospital that they have about 45 trainees. 15 of them do morning shift, 15 do
that
afternoon quackery training, and 15 do night, and 15 will be on what's it called?
Day shifts.
No, off
days.
That's how it runs. And I know that there was an hospital I went for an interview in Ibadan specifically. I was told that the guy that acts as a doctor there is not even a nurse, but just quackery. So, do you think quackery still exists in the UK? No, not that way. Do you think there's quackery in the UK?
To me, I don't think there's quackery in the UK because everything about European countries, UK, you must be registered under a professional body before you can even practice. Even as a carpenter, as a road, you must be professional. You must get the skills. You must be trained. You must have gone for diverse trainings before you could say you could practice as a professional. So, and looking at the nursing profession, medical profession, doctors and everything, they deal with life, so they don't joke with it. Even you, that you've been trained as a registered doctor, as a registered nurse, you still have to undergo ongoing trainings in your departments so that you get familiarized every month. Like there are list of trainings you need to attend, there are list of, so definitely it's quite very difficult to practice quackery in the UK because you are licensed. You need to be licensed before you could even practice.
I think I would even add to that. People here are informed.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
you to even act unprofessionally,
like
they are going to get you red-handed.
Yeah. Like in the sense that you cannot even dare act unprofessionally. Even when patients are being rude, the way they talk, it's even more professional. Like, do you know you are not supposed to talk to us like that? There is zero tolerance to, and you will see, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed. Definitely, like, because they are well informed, they know these people are professional, and they know there's no quackery or anything, and they know if you dare do anything whatsoever, definitely you can get, it's zero tolerance when you are being racist, when you are being rude, when you are being unmannered to professional colleagues. So definitely, quackery. I would say quackery does not exist in the European country or in the UK at large.
Okay, I think let's just go to the point that we want to discuss today. It's about nurses and marital relationship.
Okay.
Back home in Nigeria, nurses easily find suitors. like the nurses have that upper chance in this community to find persons to get married to, either being a male nurse or a female nurse. Do you think here in the UK nurses are easily fun to get into marriage with, or what do you think?
I think back home, why people really want to get married to nurses, doctors, is because they know in one way or the other, okay, the profession in quotes, and also because they know there is a bit of job security for them.
That's true.
So people are keen. Okay, I must get married to. I'm gonna get married to a nurse. Okay, because of the profession, maybe the bit of respect. Okay, or because of the job security. But in the UK, people still get married to nurses, but they are not really interested like you being a nurse, because there are a lot of jobs in the UK that pay well.
That's
More than
true.
the medical. I think the medical team, doctor, nurses are one of the least paid job in the UK. Part of the least
That's
paid job in the
correct.
UK. So definitely, I would say like back home, people are still a bit adored about. Okay, I want to get married to nurse. I want to get married to doctor. I want to get married to this because of the profession in quotes. But talking about outside the country, there are thousands of work, and knowing fully well, I think one of the demilitant factor that is attached to this is also that, like, okay, in one way or the other, we are getting roughly the same pay.
Yeah,
So definitely, like, oh, you don't see, and ladies at large, they want to get married, or they want to get attached to someone that they think earns more than they do. So definitely, it's something that people are not really keen about, because there are a lot of other professions that pay more better than medical profession.
yeah. And also, I discovered that before we left Nigeria, we have a lot of nurse relationship. So, do you think the environment we find ourselves in the UK supports that, or is there anything that could be done about it?
I think people get married, nurse get married together because of the japa compatibility. That, okay, I know this person, we share professionally, we share the same goal. So, like, okay, having to share the same goal, okay, like, I think it is more rampant at that particular period, like 2019, 2020, and all of those, like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And coming into, like, because of the Japa compatibility, you see nurse gets married to each other, doctor nurse gets married to each other because of the Japa compatibility.
But do you think the work environment in the UK enhances that?
It's always very difficult. It maintains understanding. People that are nurse, doctor, nurse, doctor, to really survive, or any medical professional to really survive, because childcare and all of those things are big deal in here, because you cannot just bring it back home. You might be on shift for like 8 hours or thereabout, and you have someone to look after your kids. But in here, it's really very difficult. It's not that people still get married to nurse still get married together, doctor nurses still get married together, doctor still get married together. But in my own perspective, I don't think people are really overwhelmed by saying, okay, I want to get married to a nurse, I want to get married to a doctor, because it's even so stressful. There is limited time to focus on the family, unless maybe after childbirth, that you have the privilege to be like maybe 1 year maternity leave or something. But after that, after the 1 year, the stress of getting back to work, looking after the kids, you cannot leave the kids alone at home. The husband, I have friends that are nurse, I have friends that are doctor, nurse, doctor, or aligned with the other medical aligned professionals, that when you talk about them, how do you do it? They have to plan their shifts. Unlike back home, you don't have to plan your shift if you are both medical professionals. Someone will have actually be at home to look after your kids. But in here, you have to do that. And I think, to be honest, it's mentally draining most of the time.
Yeah, and another thing I would like us to talk about is, when we were in school, we discovered that HOs, medical students comes to our hostel looking for ripe plantain for their own. Yeah. Do you think, and I know that in most teaching hospitals you will see a consultant, a doctor consultant marrying a nurse. Very, very common. Very, very common.
I think back home, most of nurses that get married to doctors.
But do you think this environment supports
It's-
that? Or they don't
it
even
does
care
not
about you
work.
being a nurse?
They don't even give a damn. Like, I think over time, people that I've worked with, that are nurses, that are doctors, their spouses are not even in medical profession. 80% of them. Unlike back home, that okay, if you're a nurse, definitely you marry like 80% of nurses back home. Don't let me give, but I think higher percentage. Don't let me give. They would always be willing to get married to a medical doctor or something. That is it. Like most of them, because okay, it's just few that are not really keen about getting married to maybe a medical doctor or something. But over time, and I think coming in here, you realize there are other people, there are other professions, and I think why it is more common back home is because okay, definitely this person earns more than I do. You understand, more respectable profession than I am in, rather. But in here, there is no one profession that is more higher than the other. You as a doctor, you are not higher than the nurse, you are not higher than the AC at that hospital, higher than the cleaner. So definitely that respect of this person is a doctor or this person is a nurse, this person is a pharmacy radiology is out of it. You get what I mean? So now I'm talking about the pay, which is another thing that makes them back home say, okay, I want to get married to. There's a relationship of no issue, blah 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 blah. Because I think back then when we were in school, you will see you have your colleague that definitely even a senior or something that has the personality, the value that you are looking for. But because okay, see finish thing, I'm like, oh, they see another maybe medical professional, like maybe a doctor or anybody like, and they don't even have this quality, but because okay,
It's a doctor.
It's a doctor, respected position or
So
something.
I've been thinking about this thing. Many of my colleagues, female colleagues who moved into the UK single, most of them are still single even after 3 years here in the UK.
The mindsets.
So what do you think led to this? Or am I the one that is seeing it that way? Is it not true?
It's actually true because I know, like, that's why most time when you are living back home, and that's why the Japa compatibility was high then, because everybody knows that you are coming in here, you will find it difficult. Like, if you are single, you will actually find it difficult. Like, it's not applicable to everybody, but most people, if you had to look at like friends that we came together, unless they have a working relationship back at home. But if there's no working relationship back at home, you want to start afresh to get a partner, they will sample you before you get it right. They will so sample you because guys that are in here, because they know that, okay, they know how females, let me use male, female example now. They know how female are being conditioned when they get here. And we back home, there's a different type of marriage we practice. There's a different type of marriage we practice in here. So you must really be ready to face that. And in one way or the other, because, okay, ladies in here have the autonomy, have the power and everything. They want to exhibit that. So if you are not ready for that, you as a guy, you cannot lower your ego for all of those things. It will be very hard. So when you realize, okay, you are in a relationship and maybe the other lady is trying as much as possible to exhibit, oh, like you cannot talk to me. I've seen someone that said, do I look like someone that needs a man? So as a guy, hearing such a statement, you'll be like, definitely there will be arguments, there will be rancor, there would be fights, there will be... Sama, you've been together for how many years? Why are you still fighting? You understand? Why are you still having all of this?
Recently we had a rumor, I won't say it's a news, that police said that Nigerian women are reporting their husband too much on trivial things that should be discussed in the family. What do you think would have led Nigerians to that pitfall?
The conflict, but having it at the back of your mind, preparedness. Like, before you go into all of these things, you need to prepare for it. Like, okay, having it that, okay, everything will happen, fights will come. How are we going to handle this? How I personally, if this person offend me, how am I going to take it? How do you think it will work out well? So preparing yourself, because I said it, no matter who you date, no matter who you want to get married with, you will fight throughout your years. our parents that are 30 years in marriage, 40 years in marriage, you see them fighting about, you will now be like, I think because of the mindset, like they want a payback. Like in Nigeria, I don't have the power. India, I have the power. You understand? So little things that needs to be handled. Because I think I read the memo and the maybe home office or police were saying the things that are supposed to be handled between two partners or family does not have to come to outside or to the social media or something, because all of these things happens normally. It happens everywhere. The only thing I will not support is domestic violence, infidelity, and all of those things that you have to. But the normal stuff of argument and all of these things, it happens everywhere. And I said I do say this thing that even if some people, if they date Jesus Christ, that one is, Jesus Christ, when he was on earth, he did a lot of things that even we'll be like, why are you doing this? Now imagine Jesus Christ dating a Nigerian woman. Like, you'll be like, take for example, Jesus Christ went to a wedding, turned water to wine. You just be like, the Nigerian woman, why don't you just mind your business? Who sent you to turn water to wine? Like, this guy has died 4 days ago. Why are you understand? There will be a lot of argument because ladies, in what way they will argue that you should have it. I've gotten to know that one of the things that could help individual in here is that knowing how a lady mindsets work. Ladies are talkers. They can talk. They will always argue. They will always want to. That drama, you will see it. It's now depend on how maybe it's positive or negative. So they would always want to. So if you are doing something, they will always have something to say about it.
So let's go back to nurses.
Okay.
How can female nurses, let's talk about female nurses, position themselves for marriage in this environment, because they have less suitors, and they have less people even proposing to them. I have seen people say that in a year nobody even come to tell you that.
It's not that they have less suitors.
Okay.
It's because they don't have less. Some still have suitors, but do you think they have a good? How will I put it now? Are they in with you with a good mindset? Like, do they want to marry or they just want to have fun with you? That is it. Majority of people approaching you as a nurse is the mindset. Most of them just in this era. I've spoken to one of my colleagues like, why are you still single? Blah, blah. I said, when we talk blah, 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 all they know is like, oh, I want to have sex. We want to do this. I said, everybody is winter. Everybody is cold. They need warmth. So, most of them, if you're not careful, they see suitors. Most of the time, like females, they see suitors. And you will realize those nurses having suitors, the least suitors coming are not from medical profession. No. They are not. It's few that are coming. Majority of the suitors are outside, like from other professions coming. But the real, maybe nursing doctors, they are not coming to you because we know each other now. And we know, like, now I'm talking about how they can position themselves. I think one of the things is getting to know the purpose of why you want to get married. You understand? Like, if you have a purpose for your life, we are always a replica of who we are, and we attract our replica.
Definitely.
So if you have a purpose, like, me, I have a goal, I have a vision. I'm vision driven. I know exactly what I want for my life. So definitely, unless I just want to play around. But if I'm being serious, definitely, like, I know what I want, and definitely I'm going for that. So I'm looking for that in a person. So definitely, if that is purpose, like getting to know who you are. Okay. When you have a purpose of marriage, why did I want to marry? Some people just want to get married because I want to have kids. Some people, I've seen someone that said, I don't need to get married. I just have kids. If I have kids, I'm okay. Do you understand? So the purpose in which you want to get married is very crucial. So that one will position you. You have a purpose for your life, number one. And the purpose in which you want to get married is also a thing. So when you have a purpose, you have a purpose for yourself and you guys work on it. And another thing is the character of the person, your own character and the person you are getting married to. Okay. So like some people have I think I read a post online about something, and someone said, people think the only bad behavior in marriage or relationship is infidelity, cheating or something. But let me tell you, that is one of the least thing. That because some people have narcissistic behavior, toxic attitude, and all of those things, they don't just give you that peace of mind. You understand? Like you are with them like this. You talk, you are mood swing. No. Like you don't carry your partner along with everything you are doing. So definitely like your own character, building yourself, being tamed. You understand? It is not every time you talk. Knowing when to talk and not when not to talk. When to address things and not when not to address things.
Yeah. So I think you have talked about purpose, character, and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I would like to add that have a social group that you collaborate with or you join.
Yeah.
Some people go to church so that they can find the suitors here in the UK. Some go to club just to find someone to meet their taste.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a question. Aside the fact that ladies have suitors, I noticed that many Nigerians don't want to get married now, despite the fact that they're not actually looking for anything per se. What would you think would make a grown-up man who had passion to get married before leaving Nigeria and get to the UK and was like, let me just continue to live my life this way?
You know why? It's because I always say it. What we practice in Nigeria is cultural marriage.
Okay.
What is being practiced here is contemporary marriage.
Okay. What's the difference?
Okay. In cultural marriage, cultural marriage favors the man.
Okay.
More
in
Nigeria. Contemporary marriage favors the woman.
Okay.
In the European country. In the sense that cultural marriage, you are expecting a man because he's the provider. He has financial independence.
And culturally, man is seen as the head of the house.
And culturally, man is seen as the head of the house. You get what I mean? But in the contemporary world, like contemporary marriage, even the woman can be any more than you do.
And
you understand?
No one cares.
And does not care. These people do not care. You understand? As far we shall have money to travel. That is it. To go on holidays. And you are doing the little, just like, but chocolate. Oh, darling, I love it. Like it's little thing, flour, chocolate, or just come and say hi to me. Like, that is it. But why it is very difficult for men that are in here, that are from Africa or Nigeria, that don't want to go, you cannot carry the mindset of a cultural background or the cultural marriage and want to practice it in a contemporary world. It's not, because there are a lot of things that you need help with. You can easily see people to help you with some things. But in here, are you ready to put in work? Both parties need to work really well. You understand? And so I think one of the main reasons, to wrap it up, is that they've had a lot of this news, blah, 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 how ladies changed when they come into the UK or European countries, and they are not really ready for those drama.
Wow. But anyways, let me ask you a personal question. Okay. When are you getting married?
Please. People have asked me that I will get married when I want to get married. Don't worry.
No pressure. Anyways, take your time.
I will.
It's not a relay race.
But I think maybe next year I should be ready to get married.
Oh, good. I'll be happy to meet her.
In all honesty.
In all honesty. So what's your last word for our viewers about nursing, transition and
everything? I think I would always say it that some people do say marriage does not have principle. But it does. Most weddings work very well, more than the marriage. People need to pay attention to the principle that makes marriage work. In the sense that people will say there are no principle or rules to marriage. I see it online, but lo and behold, there are principles. Life has its own principle. If you're an academician or you want to achieve a goal, you must be principled. There are some certain rules you must follow as an individual. So, like, people pay details. You see that there are lots of working weddings, but they are not working marriage. Because people pay details. You see, like example for ladies, how their wedding gown will be. Some people they are fantasizing it already. They don't have a man, but they are the cake how is going to be. So they hire event planners. They do all of those things. You hire event planners for your wedding, but you don't hire a marriage counselor for your marriage. You can understand what I mean? Like, you see, like, it's independent. You don't know, blah, blah, blah. You don't know how these things work. People, why you see more elaborate weddings and it was a success is because you pay events planner, photographer details, you search online, you look for the best person to help you with this. You even ask your friend that have gotten married in the previous years and ask them, how were you able to do this thing? How were you? You ask questions, you make inquiries. But when it comes to marriage, you don't make inquiries.
I think that's a big deal.
So people don't work more on the marriage. They don't pay details on
even
it.
in form
so
of
you need to
investment.
follow the principles of marriage for it to work.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I would also add to that about investment into marriage.
Yeah. That's
Here in
it.
the UK, I know of people who spend about £50,000 on just on just wedding.
Oh dear.
That the event hall that is being used is almost £20,000.
And you realize after 2 years they will get divorced.
It's as crazy as that. Thank you so much for honoring our invites today.
It's a pleasure having me and you.
Thank you, viewer, for staying to this end of the episode. Please, I would like you to subscribe and press on the notification button as well. See you again. I am Isaiah Osatuyi. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye to the camera.
Bye. See you next time. Same station.